Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, backward thinking all day. World has changed so very much.
Wake up everybody!
There is so much hatred, war and poverty. Wake up all the teachers, time to teach anyway. Maybe they will listen to what you have to say. There's the one who's coming up, and the world is in their hand. So when you teach your children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We're gonna change it, just you and me, just you and me.
Are you gonna change it?
Need some help, y'all.
Yeah.
Just you and me. Pick up all the doctors, make the good people well. Be the one who suffer and catching all the help. They know it won't be long before it's judgment day. So will you make them happy before they pass away? Pick up all the builders, time to build a new land. Know that we can do if we all lend our hand. All you got to do is put it in your mind. Sure things will work out. They do it every time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We're gonna change it, just you and me, just you and me. Need some help, y'all, just you and me. Wake up,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
No more backward thinking, backward thinking.
No more backward thinking.
I say wake up,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
No more backward thinking, backward thinking. Hey, I say wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up,
Wake up,
politicians.
politicians!
Stop cheating. Stop cheating, yeah. You better stop cheating. Stop cheating, yeah. Be the one who suffer. Be the one who pay. Be the one who's coming up each and every day. I say wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up,
Wake up,
all the teachers.
all the teachers!
Teach your children. Teach your children. Teach your children the truth. Teach your children the roots. There's the one who suffer. There's the one who pay. There's the one who's coming up each and every day. I say wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up,
Wake up,
all the preachers.
all the preachers!
Stop lying. Stop lying, yeah. You better stop lying. Stop lying, yeah. We the one who suffer. We the one who pay. We the one who's coming up each and every day. I say wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up,
Wake up,
the pushers.
don't push us!
Stop pushing the door.
Stop pushing the door!
Be the one who suffer. Be the one who pay. Be the one who's coming up each and every day. I say wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
Wake up now,
Wake up,
everybody.
everybody!
It's
Wake up now, everybody. Wow, wow, wow. What a beautiful song. What a beautiful song. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Ras Midas with me today. How are you?
Fine, thank you, and greetings to you, and greetings to all the listeners, and greetings to the world. It's
Yeah.
wonderful to be here.
It's an honor for me to have you on the TRU-MON show. We have been looking forward to this reasoning together. It's a wonderful moment. We're going to dive deep, of course, into all kinds of stuff like I used to do it. It's not. It's just to keep it real about reality, about your accomplishment, also because that's what I want you here for, to talk about your music. And first, I would like to know more about you, also because I've been looking through your music. I heard pretty much all your songs, so that gives me a good sense of who you are and where you're going and what kind of truth also you're holding. Like we can all, and that's everybody. I don't think it's just a certain amount of us, of people that can have. I think we all have access to righteousness. Not all of us will express it in a way that it's for the benefit of us all. But I think it's a good way to start something. It's to really, first of all, focus on what's right. Do what's right in your heart. That's what I do all the time here. I do what's right. So I go on with this. First, Ras Midas, I would like to tell me about where, because I like to go back, like maybe to the beginning, but I think the real beginning is when the rebirth happened for me. If you talk to me about the beginning of my life, it's what, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, max. So for you, where was the leap where you decided to put Ras Midas forward, I can say?
Well, I would say,
Was it young? Was it very young? You had the glimpse already of all
yes,
this, or?
very young, very young. I first I must say that I'm from Clarendon, Jamaica, and I started my musical journey when I was 16 years old with Harry J Recording Studio. My first producer was Harry Johnson. And in 1976, I was fortunate that Island Records put out a single called Kudia Bamba, which was an
Yeah,
international hit. And that song has propelled me on the world scene as one of the first people to sing bilingually around the world. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
that song has given me, promote my name in Europe and Africa and other places around the world. So, and from that I recorded 11 albums.
yeah. You did a lot of albums. I saw the discography. It's extended. No?
Yes, and many singles.
Yeah,
And Rastaman in Exile was voted as the reggae album of the year in France, and that was very successful. And I do the type of music that speak for the people,
exactly.
because I don't really sit down and write songs. Songs come to me, come naturally to me through a spiritual energy, or a music, or a cosmic energy musically. And so I speak for the people that don't have a voice. My music is for the people that don't have a voice, the struggling and suffering people around the world that politicians or religious leaders do not pay attention to. So, because I come from a revolutionary background and a struggling background, I try to portray my music in that way so that people can know that Ras Midas is speaking for them I make the type of music that they can understand and relate to.
Yeah, and the sound is very authentic too. It's very like it's not digital. It's very like you have a band playing with you.
Yes, I when I go into the studio to do recordings, I record with living people.
With a band. That's it.
Yes, and so I was fortunate that when I started my career, my producer Ari Johnson surrounded me with some of the best musicians that Jamaica have to offer in reggae. People like Sly and Robbie, people like Winston Wright, Leroy Wallace, Asmouth, Doug Valle, Doug Wallace, Doug Val Douglas on bass, Ernie Ranglin, um,
But you,
Dean Fraser,
yeah, Dean Fraser, yeah, yeah.
and just to name a few. And I was fortunate to have professional singers recording with me like Marcia Griffiths and Judy Mowat and Anissa Banks and Pamela Hall. So it was wonderful. And this is all the way I was brought up in the music industry. And I continue it until this time. I don't change because I don't have nothing to change.
But I think music have changed a lot over the years. You had the chance to touch the era before the digital and the internet and all that stuff. So that's it. Back then, you go in studio and it was with a band. There was no digital stuff.
No.
So you had to at start that taste for the real music, I can say.
Yes, because you need living musicians who can listen to the melody that you are singing with,
Yeah.
and they can create the kind of musical sound coming from their soul. And the spirituality within their creativity come through on those rhythms so that I can present my lyrics and my message in that form, because I know that people loves original thing, and reggae is one of the original music in the Western world, and I'm very happy to be part of this foundation. So I am working continually, letting it be a reality to the world.
Yeah, you are a real roots reggae artist foundation, if I can say. There's not too many like you, and also you have been doing this for many, many years, so you have experience. That's what I said. You might not be older than me. We don't know about age and stuff, but you certainly have a lot of experience. Like you've been going around Europe and everywhere. So, the more experience you have with life, this is where wisdom come from, with experience, with reaching out also to other people, to the world. That's what you say in one of your songs, reaching out. It's very important to, at one point, open our heart also, stop the fear and stuff like that, and just let the love flow. I think it's a must.
Yes, it is good for me that I reach out to people with my music.
Yeah.
I've traveled to Europe, I traveled to Africa, I traveled to South America. And in my traveling, I discovered that there are so many people around this world in many different cultures that have the said concept as the Rastafarian revolution that started in Jamaica. And I come up with my own concept also, which is the One Love Revolution, to let people know that we have to start. I am not forcing anyone to accept what I'm saying. And when I'm speaking, I'm not speaking for all Rastafarians. I'm speaking on my behalf, because Rastafarian do not have a special set of laws and rituals that people have to live through, because you have to live your life the way you make it to be, and you are responsible for the things you do or the action you partake into. So it's what you make it to be.
Exact.
And why I came up with the concept of the one love revolution, I realized that we have to start living love and don't talk about it. We have to start live the truth.
Yeah.
And if you are living in truth, you are living in love. And if you are living in love, you are living in truth. Because truth and love walk together.
Yeah, I think you could add living in light also. If you live in love, you live in truth, and you live in the light. Like
Yes, that is, yes, that for sure. Because knowing the truth is the light.
Yeah, that's it.
Because when you know the truth, then you can set yourself free if you make that choice. And when you are living in love, is the light, because the light of unity. Is the light of respecting, accepting, and have tolerance for other people around the world, because everything couldn't be the same. So you respect people in their culture or the concept they want to live in, because they are responsible for their own living and the things they do. But we can share and learn as human beings with our own ideals and philosophy. And if we come to the table of decision and put all these things together, we can make the necessary changes that we really need to rebuild the brotherhood of man.
Yeah. But that's what I mark in the title. I said overstanding, performing, and mastering our world, which is what I'm in the midst of doing with my life. I think you have come to that overstanding also, that at one point there's got to be and not too many people, that's it. And it's important once you overstand your world, that you come forward into this world and you start speaking truth and living that truth and living that love and being that love, and not be afraid. It's just the fear that limits a lot of people from just doing what we do, talking. You know, most people do not connect with each other because of fear. It's often that. So I think that the moment we understand that there is nothing to fear but fear itself, we start freeing ourselves and going into the world, which is very important, because we're not here to watch TV. I keep saying it over and over again. Distraction is destruction. You know, that's what it is, and that's what this world is all about. So understanding what's going on, the lies, the deception, everything is very important, I think, at one point, to be able to make a come out like you do. Like, you don't want to go into the world, and not me, that was my number one priority before I come out and speak to the world, to know the truth. Like, I wanted to know what was going on in the world. There's lots of confusion and stuff. So you want to know, not because at one point I think it's more your ego that wants to know. But if you go into the inside, you travel the inside a bit, at one point you let go of the ego also. So, and you realize that you don't know too much. That's what I've realized. I realized that I was under the illusion of knowing, and that's what many people are. So yeah, freeing ourselves from this and starting to live free is a must. Do you think?
Yes, we have to re-educate ourselves, because what I realized for myself, that when you're looking outside of yourself, you do not have control of yourself.
Exactly.
You know? And if we can re-educate ourselves consciously, spiritually, and clean up our inside, we have a chance to evolve from the environment that we were born into. Exactly. And we were born in modern Babylon, whether some people want to accept it or not. We are living in modern Babylon in this time. And it's for us to evolve from this situation of fear, because fear is what keeps us apart. And if we do not overcome fear, we're going to have problems. We need to learn to respect and accept each other as one human family living on the planet Earth, because there's nowhere else in the universe that mankind exists that we know unless it's the planet Earth. And this earth is so beautiful. This is our mother. So we have to learn to keep our mother clean, keep the environment clean, because if we keep our environment clean, then we are keeping ourselves clean. We need to create policies, not politics, to re-educate children to love one another and to accept each other and to learn together so that we can evolve and rebuild the world. And that is the most important thing that I am advocating in my music wherever I go around the world.
You say it in one of your songs, it's the children that suffer. Who do you think they want to fool with all the fantasy and the Disney world and all that stuff? The fantasy is what it kills the dream of life. If you live in fantasy, you're stuck into some kind of a paradigm that nothing is real. Like it's not stuff you can sense. And that's what we do with our children also. So becoming conscious of all this is very important, especially if you have children. You have children on your own. I have children too. And my goal is not for them to have their soul captured, because this is what we do to the children today. We capture their soul. Like it's the whole inculcation and not only the inculcation, but the indoctrination and all that stuff. That's very, very, it's there. Like it's very easy to see. But at the same time, I don't know, we're kind of blind to the truth. Something like that?
Well, it's a systematic swamp. It's a systematic swamp that everyone find themselves into.
Yeah.
No matter what part of the world you live into, the worldwide system of modern Babylon has taken over. And I am not saying that we cannot change it. We have to change it, because we have children, a younger generation, and we have to lay a foundation that they can be evolved in love and unity like never before, because they are the one that is going to have the burden of the work to help reconstruct the beautiful unification of mankind. Because most time I look into myself and I say to other people, if there is only one kind of man exists on the universe, what would you choose? So we have to learn that His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie said in a speech that until the color of a man's eyes is no more significant to the color of his skin, which is complexion, there will be no peace. So people can use complexion of being separated and fear of each other, because we must accept each complexion as beautiful. Yeah. Because this is how beauty come in. Beautiful is not artificial things. We must learn to accept the beauty in each of every one of us.
Yeah,
so
it's very important.
To let that beauty be a way of life. So I can wake up this morning and reach out to my neighbor and said, it's a beautiful day and I love you very much. And when I'm saying it, I'm not saying it from words. I'm saying it because it's the vibration of spiritual nationality, or the spiritual identity of reality that sneak in within my consciousness. And so I'm trying to live this truth. I am not saying I'm the most positive person in the world, but I'm getting there because I'm involved in there. I'm not saying that I'm righteous more than anyone else. I am getting out of the systematic swamp of Babylon. So I'm working out of there.
That's it. No, that's it. It's a swamp, but we can get out the swamp. It's always possible to move out the swamp. And the Babylon thing, I don't think we can really leave it. Like I'm born in Babylon, I'll probably leave this realm in Babylon also. I don't think it's going to dissipate from one day to another. But if with enough love, whatever we reinforce will eventually come to reality. Same as anything that we do not enforce will dissipate. So if we keep emphasizing love and the unity and truth and stuff like that, and like the truth doesn't need protection. It's like a lion, you let it loose, it's gonna defend itself. So I'm not worried about the message that I vehicle myself or you or another. It's not about the messenger. It's the message that has to come, that we have to wake up. We have to wake up, and first of all, this is it. It's activate our conscience, which is very important. Before I forget, before I have it here, I forgot at the beginning to say it, but I would like to say a big up, a large up to Nan Lewis, your publisher, your everything woman, that she does all your booking and stuff. So from Entertainment Works. So large up, Nan, for setting up all that interview, and also setting me up on the Byte Radio and all that with the family there in UK. So large up, Nan, for everything that you do now. We love you.
Yes, we love you, Nan, and
yeah,
Entertainment Works and the very hard work that you are doing. It's wonderful to have
it's
conscious
good
and constructive people that you can really work with.
Yeah.
Who is conscious of the music and the message, also helping to let this world be a better place.
Because there's the artists that go perform and all that, but there's also people behind the artists, and I think Nan is very important in your life. She does a lot for you, and you have an history. Also, you've been with her for a long time, so there's a good connection, great connection there, I should say. Good is not great enough.
28 years.
Yeah, that's
She's my publicist.
Yeah.
For 28 years. And she have done a wonderful job, because she know the person I am, and she know my music, and she know what my revolution is all about, and she know that it is a one love revolution. And people don't have to get scared about the one love revolution. The one love revolution is respecting each other, caring for each other, accepting each other with tolerance, with sympathy, and working together to let this world be a better place.
This is it, because it's not about grudge and stuff like that. It's about compassion, love, unity, and being compassion for me comes very important, especially when you get in touch with the truth inside you, because if you look external of yourself, you will find lies and deception. You look within, you will find the truth. So
yes,
you seek outside people, you will find lies and deception. Be careful. So look within, and that change that you create also is going to impact many, many, many people around you. So it's very important that once you get in touch with that truth, that you share it also, and that you share it in a way that you're compassionate for others, and not lecturing people. Like, I never come here with telling people what to do or what to do with their... No, I share the way I see the world. Like, I've been roaming here for a while. I have a bit of experience, and I've been swamping through darkness also pretty much all my life until I wake up. I've been doing those evil rituals of eating blood and flesh and stuff like that from animals and stuff. So, when you say I'm gonna go deep, but when we say we're evilly possessed, I was evilly possessed because I was doing all the evil rituals for that inculcation. Anyway, it goes so deep that I don't want to dive too deep, because I'm not gonna stop talking, and it's not so much about me talking. I talk all the time alone, but I just want to start a conversation with you, of course. That's the point here. But if I keep talking and talking, I will not stop. But I think there is something very, very... There's truth in what we do and what we are and what we say. And finally, that's what I want to come to.
Well, it's not what you was yesterday, it's what you is today. Exactly. And it is beautiful that conscious people in this world can forgive themselves, because one of the greatest things that we must have as people with compassion is forgiveness. We have to give ourselves for what we was yesterday and give thanks for what we are today. That is the beauty of spirituality, because some people believe spirituality is religion. Spirituality is when you are in harmony with the universe and you are in harmony with all the energies of the universe and you are in harmony with brothers and sisters of this creation with love.
If you are in disharmony, great chance you cause disease too. Disharmony, this ease, this cover, this. You know, it's important to lift all those things then to realize that we, especially disease, if you are at ease, if you reach that state of, because happiness is a state of mind. I mean, everything is a state of mind, right?
Yes, everything is a state of mind. So if you was into a mentally state of mind in the past and you can eradicate that state of mind out of yourself, so you can bring in the light of unity, the light of overstanding, the light of love, the light of unity, the light of respecting each other. And first, with this respect, we have to start to learn to respect the female part of us, because we do not born into an environment where women have equal rights and justice. We're born into I would call it a chauvinist men mentality.
Oh yeah.
And we don't realize that woman is very important to everything we do, because anything you do and you don't have a positive woman there with you, you're not going to reach anywhere. That's why the universe is male and female, and everything within life is male and female. So we need consciously, because it takes one male and one female to be a complete man. People have to understand this. It takes one male and one female to be a complete man. That's why the whole universe is male and female, and every living thing within nature is male and female. You know, the sun is male, the moon is female. The ocean is female, but the river is male.
Yeah.
That is how it works.
Makes sense.
Know? Yes, night is female, but day is male.
And I like what you said, that it takes male and female to make the man, because that's what Arthur Christian, that came on my channel, always referred to the man when he's talking about the dream of life and everything. He's referring to the man. So now you just even bring more light to my consciousness with what you said, that what makes the man is the female, the man and the woman together makes.
Yes.
And that's great what you said there. It's very. I'm gonna talk about this again. It didn't go unnoticed in my in the conversation we're having here. It's very potent what you said there.
Yes, is a consciousness, is a consciousness of Jah. Because when people hear the Rasta man say Jah, we are not talking about a one individual. We are talking about the positive vibration of humanity coming from the Creator. I'm not talking about the Creator. We are the Creator, because we are the reproduction of ourselves. I'm talking about the cosmic power of the Creator. Creator, which is very important today. And the Creator is male and female. And so when they separate it and don't explain to us education-wise what man really means male and female in one. So that's why I'm saying it takes one male and one female to be a complete man. And the only way you can be complete is when the male and female energy unite together And if that energy don't unite together, you cannot have a peaceful world. And I think one of the most important things today in our speech, our reasoning, men around the world must turn around and ask woman for forgiveness.
Oh yeah, big time. Big time.
Yes, so that we can forgive ourselves. We must start forgive ourselves for the atrocity and the burden and brutality and segregation that we have grown up into a world like this.
Take responsibility.
Yes, take responsibility for what we are doing, because we are so blind to dominate and to be to supervise everything around the world that we lose the respect that we should have for female. And if we are not going to respect the female, we're not respecting ourselves as male. No, we're not respecting ourselves. So that's what the concept of Jah is all about. Because Jah is a spiritual concept that ingrained within us. I am not telling that Jah is some powerful human being in outer space. I say it's a spiritual concept that ingrained within us, that evolved out of Jamaica. And there's plenty cultures around the world that is living and doing the said thing. They are not using the word Jah, but they are using the revelation of their word that come within them. So when we go to different parts of the world and meet different brothers and sisters and we reason together, we can say, brother, we are connected, because although you are speaking in your language, you have the said spiritual entity within you, so that we can reason with each other and put our ideals together at the table of decision of humanity.
Exact. And when you said, I like what you said about creator, because that's what I think they're trying to act the creator by giving us all kinds of nonsense, madness in this Babylon world. And I've seen that word Thor, Thor, very much places in their especially NASA. I think NASA uses it to put on their on the side of their missile that go I don't know where. But I've seen that there. So, you know, that's what they try to act the creator. But I think it's us co-creators. And that's what I was telling you the other day. The earth is probably as old as we are. If we look at who had created this beautiful paradise realm we're in, like if you start talking about creation, it goes very, very deep, and we can have a long reasoning just on creation, because it's so it's the words are missing for me how to describe reality and life. Just life is a miracle. Like just talking to you is a miracle. Like everything for me is so divine, so it's very hard to even put words on it.
Well, there's a love that is so divine. And it's your and it's mine, and it's just like the shining sun. And at the end of the day, we should all give thanks and praise to the one, the creator.
The creator.
Yes, the creation is our identity. It's our identity. This is how we identify ourselves within the planet Earth. But the creator is everything within one, in which we don't have any control. It's like we are living in an ocean, and there's different things in the ocean to make the ocean sanctify within itself, because everything is a fulfillment of the creator, and we is the identity of creation, because we are the one that is dealing with creation.
Exact. We're the one responsible here. We have power and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, as far as I'm concerned, and we're abusing that power and dominion for sure. But they were here to take care of this place. I cannot. First of all, I cannot conceive in my right mind that I'm here to destroy. So we're here to take care, and then that's not what we're doing now. The most people are very, but they're destroying also without knowing. So the people don't know what they're doing. I didn't know all this. Like I say always, people don't know that they don't know that they don't know. It's far, it's deep, it's very deep. They're not aware. It's the awareness. We're completely lost in an abyss of unawareness. That's humanity. And we got to do something. That's why at one point I said, I got to raise my voice. You have to raise your voice. Other people raise their voice. And we see the truth. And we see the truth within ourselves. And enough is enough. At one point, you got to get mad. You got to get mad and come out or do something. I was mad at first. I was mad. I was like, why I've been lied to? Why do they lie to people? Why? You know, you ask yourself, why all those lies? Like it was, but then you understand why the world is. I understand why the world is a lie. Is we're very, very much unaware and asleep.
The system was built on lies, and illusion, and deceptions.
Exact.
And nowadays you hear politicians talking about fake news. Fake news is thousands upon thousands of years of fake news.
It's always fake.
Yes, because it's the fake news, which is the lies and deception that they use to control the psyche and the psychology of mankind. That's why we are not living in unity. Because if we are in unity, then the system cannot control us and separate us, which is the reality of what is going on. Now, we find ourselves into this situation. And people believe that it's going to take miracle. Just one day, everybody's going to just wake up and you're just going to get change. That is not going to happen. The said amount of years mankind have learned to mess up ourselves is the said amount of years it is going to take for mankind to solve his own problem. Because it's our problem. It's not the creator problem. So we cannot sitting down and waiting from some special savior coming from the realms of religion to come and save us from what we have done. We have to take responsibility for what we do. And the only way we can move forward is to forgive ourselves and forgive others for the atrocities that taken place in the past and is going on up until this time. So the philosophy and the ideology of Rastafari is saying is one love. It is not you and me anymore and we, is I and I, is I am that I am within myself and within yourself. And if you can see that light within yourself and you can make that light shine, then all of us shine in this light. It will be a big light. It will be the greatest light around this world shining for you and I.
I think the sun will even shine brighter if we shine brighter. The weather will be better if we shine brighter. Like if we emit more positive vibration on this plane, I think it can affect the upper realm also, the clouds and the weather and stuff. The reason why we have so many natural disaster happening, I don't think it's some are man-made, but I don't think it's all man-made, and it's because we're very, very negative in our minds. So we have to uplift, become more positive, and then we will receive more positivity also.
But plenty of the things that man said is disaster is not really disaster. We have to have hurricane. There's a reason why we have it.
It's a balance. It's a balance, yeah.
Yes, we have to have volcano because all of these things, an earthquake, all of these things is the earth cleansing itself.
Yeah.
So when the earth is cleansing itself, you have earthquake and volcano and all these things. Just like mankind have to cleanse himself too. You know? We have to go to the bathroom, we have to clean out ourselves, we have to urine, and all these things is a part of cleansing ourselves. So the earth have to cleanse itself too, because the earth is the fullness and all they that dwelled in thereof. The earth is us, and we are part. The earth is us. We are part of the earth. The earth is part of us. We are working on the said balance.
Like I say always, nature takes care of nature.
Yes.
And
so,
nature hears you also. It hears you. It speaks to you.
Yes. So just like how the tree have to reproduce itself, mankind have to reproduce itself. That's why it is written, man shall be like the tree that is planted by the rivers of water and bringeth forth fruit in due season. I am not saying this because it was written in the Bible. These words were written long before the Bible was invented. So I'm not speaking words. People think that is only in the Bible. It was. The people who write the Bible get it from somewhere, because these words was written by Imhotep of ancient Egypt. Imhotep of ancient Egypt. Some of these words some of the things that we have seen in the Bible was written by Melchizedek also. But when the system steal and copy things and put it into their own book of deception, then they say, well, you know, is a mighty God just meet somebody in a mountain and say this to them, because they do not want to give credit.
They invert. They invert everything. That's what they do. They take the truth and they invert it.
Yes. So, as I said, we are like the tree that is planted by the rivers of water and bringeth forth fruit in due season. And everything within life.
And the same, you talk about the tree, it's the same thing. The sap inside the tree, you know, the sap at this time of the year, the sap goes up here, especially you two. And it starts bringing the fruit, bringing the blossom and all the juice in the tree. That's why the tree survives, because it's humid inside. I mean, if it's dry, if you have a dry tree, it's going to die. You know, when the tree dies, it becomes all dry, just like a human. When it dies, it becomes all dry. So, you know, it's the same thing. So that tree, that same phenomena that happened in the tree must happen inside you also. That you know, your spine has some kind of lots of information traveling in there.
Yeah, the chakra.
So, that's it. So we start talking about this. There's probably the same some kind of liquid ascending. I don't know, or that you must make ascend in order to have that, to see the light or something. I don't know. I'm trying to explain it. Not the way that I started to open my eyes to life, and suddenly I saw the light. Yeah, but it's more in the form of love, of compassion, of coming out, of you know.
It's just the power of the 7 seals. And if we learn the power of the 7 seals and we are educated in the power of the 7 seals, then we know we are made up of the 7 dimension within us. And it started from down here and come right up here, because your intellect, which is your psyche, which is the computer,
yeah,
of your being, where everything is stored. If you store positive things within your psychology, then you live positive things. So now is the time when we must clean up our garden, because they talk about the Garden of Eden. We are the Garden of Eden. Mankind is the Garden of Eden. There's no special garden out there. We have to clean up our garden. Within ourselves is the tree of good and evil. We have to let the positive tree control the negative tree within us. We are the tree of life. So we have to find a way how to get rid of the negative tree that is within us. to clean up our garden so our garden can be flourish again. There's no special garden somewhere else.
Never seen it. Never like people. I think if you ask me if I believe in God, or I don't want to believe, I want to know first of all. And I've never seen, I never had any of my fellow brothers and sisters, first of all, reporting seeing God or something. I see it in each and every one of us. I see it in the animals. I see it everywhere around me. To me, God is a force, is a divine force, is the light. Is if you talk maybe the sun is very, very special to me. When I look at the sun, I get something very, very powerful from it. But again, will I ever know what the sun is and what the moon is and what the like? To me, I'll go to the moon, I'll probably freeze my butt, and if I go to the sun, I'll burn it. So when am I gonna, like? I'm never gonna get there, and so it's pointless to even try to find out. So that's what I'm saying.
Yes, and we need to re-educate ourselves because we do not get the education of reality.
Oh no, for sure, for sure.
Is the education of mind control and deception.
Yeah.
An illusion. To letting you look outside of yourself. And whenever you look outside of yourself, then you lose yourself. Because you cannot change a wolf to be a sheep. And you cannot change a sheep to be a wolf.
Yeah.
And we are wondering why the wolf eat the sheep. Well, if the sheep go into the jungle of the wolf is going to eat you. Because that is the nature of the wolf. Well, you have some man, them called mankind, them is a kind of man. Not really. You see, man is positive. Man, the word man means positivity. But you have a next person named mankind, and you have a next person named men. More than one. He's negative and positive in one, and he let the negativity control his positivity. That's why he become a beast.
And after he feast.
Yes. And that beast teach you to eat beast too, because when I say to people, well, eating animal and birds and things is part of cannibalism. Oh, Midas, you gone to the extreme. No, I don't gone to the extreme. If you look into the reality, you will see it for yourself. And that's why we live in a world of ignorance. I am not saying that I know everything, but I am educating myself. I'm re-educating myself. I am reading. It's not everything that I read I accept either, because I have to look into the details of things, and you observe knowledge in so many different ways. But we are living a time where we are convinced that is only political leaders and religious leaders know the truth, and I have to be dependent on my pastor, and I have to depend on my congressman because they know the best for me and they can fix me in a box. No, I am out that box long time ago, and no one is going to put me into that box anymore.
But this is what people do by looking outside of themselves. Also, they're looking at government to govern them, to do whatever the government wants them to do. That's what's happening. That's why it's called government. It's govern the mind. And most people do not even question the word government. Like, this is the first thing that came to my mind. It's the questioning the words I was using, like what those words means. Like, okay, there's definition. Babylon will give you a definition, but there's an etymology of the word and where the word come from and what it really means, not the definition.
Yes, and if you take off that T, the T mean nothing.
Exactly.
If you take off that T, you get the pronunciation as government.
Government. Yeah.
Yes. So they manipulate the words and give it to you, telling you about meant. You told me what meant mean already. Yeah, so the word is government.
Government.
I realize I know that for many years that the word is govern men. I am not a man. And they're not going to let me subdue myself to a man. I am a positive man.
That's probably why they added the T to plane, to make it planet with the T. You know, when it's not a planet, it's a plane. I don't know what the shape of it is. To me, it's a shapeless realm where we are. I don't know. To me, the Earth, if you ask me what's the Earth, is everything. It's the stars, the moon, the sun, below, up above, everything. So there's no shape. I don't think it's contained into a ball. It's super nonsense. So just that sense of reality. Very few people have that sense of reality. You go tell that to people in the world, and they start to freak out.
Yes, you see, that's why it is written that whenever you know the truth will set you free. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open. You see, all these words is written in the Bible. I am not saying that there's not good things in the Bible to learn. Because why I can say this, I go to the source to find out where these writings come from. How did people get these writings? And these writings go right back to ancient Ethiopia, the Atlantis civilization, and go right forward to ancient Egypt. That's why they start to tell you that no, you don't have to deal with Egypt. Egypt is Pharaoh is an evil man, and and when I get the knowledge, I know that without the pharaohs and the scientific works of those people, we wouldn't live into a world that we live in today, because it's a copy of the past they've put in the present and put it in a new way and mix it up to educate us. So if we seek for the truth, we will find the truth. And if we knock for light, then the doors of light will be open unto us, and we can see. Because when you have the light within you, then you can see.
Exact.
And people do not like when you can see.
You know, it's like when you drive with your car at nighttime. If you don't have the light on, you're not going to see very far ahead. But put your light on, you're going to see far ahead. That's what I tell all the time. It's like the curtain in your house. Open them to see the light. Don't leave everything closed in your box. You know, don't be afraid of the light of the sun. Don't put sunglasses on. You know, don't be afraid of the light. But people put sunglasses, close their curtain. It's like super nonsense. But that's the programming that does that. I've done it myself.
Yeah, we all, as I said, we all born in the systematic swamp.
Exactly.
And everybody
drowned in the swamp.
Yes, and everyone is struggling right now to get out of the swamp. The conscious ones are struggling and fighting to evolve themselves from the systematic swamp. And so when your vitality, because I'm not going to use the word mentality, I'm saying vitality, higher heights. When you're in the consciousness of higher heights, you have the light to see what the difference a day makes, to know that there's evil forces over there and there is negative forces over there, and there is the positive light within the center of your consciousness, which is the power of the 7 seals that reigns within you. I did a song on my album Rastaman in Exile called Melchizedek, and if people listen to that song, they will hear me talk about the power of the 7 seals within the power of your Kundalini.
That's what I was talking to you, the Kundalini. That's the word I was looking before.
Yes, the word Kundalini is a Hindu word. It is Hindu language. The word the word Kundalini is from India, but the 7 seals is the original word.
I have it playing.
Yes. So when I'm talking about Melchizedek, I'm talking about the older man of creation with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that was the educator in that time.
We'll listen to it if you don't mind. Well, I'll play
Yes,
it.
we will listen. I would like the people of the world who are listening to you hear this song because it is very important. And before you play the song, this is the real man. This is the man that was. And the Romans changed the name and called it Jesus. But I want to say to everyone that is listening, if you go to the said Bible that you are reading today, all the Christians them that are listening are Rastafarian who want to listen. Go to Hebrew chapter 7 and read about the man Melchizedek, and you will know that the real man is Melchizedek.
I'll listen.
Melchizedek, I priest and silent. He gave the mystic revelation of mankind.
Revelation,
Yeah.
mystic revelation.
He told him that his seed will replenish the earth and bring forth a new nation in his creation. Oh, we show him the power of the seven seas that lies within. So men beware. Oh yes, beware. Ooh, beware of the Kundalini. Feed upon your spinal flags of Rastafari. The revelation, yo. Woy, 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 woy. Woy, woy, Melchizedek, Melchizedek, I bring some Zion. You, I and I, forefathers, Abraham, King David, King Solomon. Bring forth Rastafari, the revelation, yo.
Revelation,
He is Alpha and Omega, the beginning that knows. Set forth from Zion to build a nation in this isolation. Melchizedek, I preach some Zion. Woy, 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 woy. Woy, 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 woy. You, I and I, forefathers, Abraham, King David, King Solomon. Bring forth Rastafari, the revelation, Lord. Melchizedek, Melchizedek. He's a mystic revelation, mystic revelation, coming out from Zion. will get something. Saw 12 years. I saw you government. I saw you government. But now first I am.
I wanted to ask you on that album, Rastaman in Exile, there's a song. Hold on, I'm trying to find my mouse. Okay, I got it. There's a song on it in French. The title's in French. Trop longtemps dans le vent. Do you speak French too?
I sing in French.
Mais tu parles-tu français aussi ou on peut-tu faire une entrevue en français, non?
No, but I know a few words, but you know.
Ah, okay.
I'm not really a French speaker, but I record in French because lots of African speaking countries, and I would like to make a song that they can really understand the message in the song, and also the people of France. So I did it. I was encouraged to do it by my manager, so I did it, and it was very good that I did it, because this song has propelled this album in all French-speaking countries in the Caribbean and also in Africa.
Yeah,
so,
no, in Europe also. There's lots of French speaking in Europe. No?
Yes, and I think that it is good when you can do a song in other people's language to let them know your versatility. And
No, for sure, it's great. I love it. I like, but many French band into reggae also, or any other music, will often involve English in their composition also. So it's vice versa, I think.
yes, it's
the French utilize English, and the English utilize French also. To like the language are very similar. It's just the pronunciation, and many words. It's just the pronunciation that change. So
yes, but it's real good that people can hear the message. And
yeah. And what about that song Melchizedek? Tell me a bit more about it. That's what I just played before, and I think you wanted to extend on it too before we play it.
Well, what they did when they were rewritten in the literature and books that the Romans found and discovered in ancient Egypt, they changed the name to suit the system that they were building, which was the new system of Western democracy, or what they want to really call it. But the man Melchizedek is a deeply spiritual man, and most of the writings that we read in the Bible is the writings of Melchizedek and Krishna.
Yeah.
Because plenty of people don't realize that the word Christ is Krishna in Hindu.
Exactly.
And they translate the word to Christos, and then from Christos to Christ.
That's why they have Christopher Columbus.
Yes. So you have to study history. I'm not talking his story that we go to school here and learn. I'm talking
their story.
Yeah, we are talking about true event or advent that really happened. So people is not educated to the reality of things that really happen. But so Melchizedek, what they did, they changed the name from Melchizedek to Jesus, and they changed the name from Krishna to Christ or to Christos, and they joined the two words together and call it Jesus Christ. But the next thing about it, the word Jesus is a Latin word pronounced as Jesus.
Yeah.
You know? So it's manipulation of words.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
and manipulation of fake news. Because originally, when mankind was living in unity, I hear plenty ignorant people say that there was no time there was unity with mankind. Yes, there was a time when mankind have unity within ourselves. It was a time when we were living to the concept of Mahat.
I think there was days also on earth when we were not so divided, not so selfish, and we were helping and caring for each other, and that it was a paradise. I think we have to recreate that paradise.
Well, is we have to recreate it for ourselves. Because when people hear us sing about Zion, I am not talking about a place. Zion is a higher consciousness
Exactly.
of your intellect,
All
your
that.
higher self.
Yeah.
Zion is your higher self. So because on the album Rastaman in Exile, I have a song that Zion Lost Train. I am telling the world or explaining to people that the new day, the new philosophy of mankind, which is the one love revolution. This is the last train. The train is ourself. Is ourself. We are the train. And so we have to rebuild the consciousness of Zion within the train that we have within ourselves here.
And I like that you take the example of the train and not like a boat or something, because we are on the land. I'm not on the sea. So a train travels on the land. You know, we are living in a world that it's managed by the law of the sea. And that's why, we can go into details with that. But I like the train thing. Yeah, it's more on the land.
Yes. So if people study, I mean, they can go on the internet. They can look up the word Mahat. It's spelled M-A-H-T. Mahat. They can look up. They can look up the word Melchizedek. It's spelled C-H-I. It's spelled C-H-I.
Yes.
No, sorry. It's spelled M-E-L-C-H-I-Z-E-D-E-K.
Yeah, that's it.
M-E-L-C-H-I-Z-E-D-E-K. Melchizedek. And if they can go and look up the
But that's it.
teachings.
You know, it's not like I say always, people, we can talk here, we can show doors and stuff, but it's up to the people to educate themselves and open the doors. And, there's many stuff that we are under the illusion of knowing, and that change has to start locally. So it starts with you. We were talking about change before. It happens locally. First of all, talk to your neighbor. I like what I remember that what you said, and that's very much where it has to occur inside you. So everything that we refer, whether it's Zion or anything else, it's all within ourselves.
Yes. So
The
although it is
tabernacle, even the tabernacle of Jah, all this stuff, it's us. It's the human body. It's the
yes. I am the church. I am the tabernacle.
Exact. You're the church, the preacher, the this, the that, everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't have to go up to a building to let a preacher preaching and dictating to you. I and I is the church. I and I is the tabernacle.
The temple.
And we must keep our tabernacle and our church clean, so that the energy of spiritual positivity can come within our tabernacle or within our church and rest and fertilize our structure, so that we produce positive fruits and trees, because we are the fruits and we are the trees.
Yeah, and it's unconditional love. That's why I say always it's a good example you give that, because the fruit, nature has unconditional love for nature, because the trees always produce fruit. So we should be really much on the side of that unconditional love to produce those fruit constantly. Like that's my goal, to really keep producing fruit and be like have a very, very good vibe. But look, I'm working on it just like you. I'm not pretending that I have attained full Christ consciousness or whatever you want to call it. I'm working on it, and at least it makes me feel better each and every day that I know I'm working on it.
Yeah, you see, the word is important. You know, it doesn't matter whether they want to put it in the Bible or the Quran or whatever may be, or it don't matter. Or the Torah, it doesn't matter. You have to apply the word to yourself to manifest the levity of the word. Because word without works is vain imagination. Because
Without works. Yeah.
yes, if you speak the word and you're not fulfilling the word by works, the word mean nothing.
That's why I mark performing, per form, per person, the person you are, per
Yes,
sun, and the sun,
yes,
it has to do with the sun, the person you are,
yes,
the shining, the sun must come into form at one point. Like we're not just here as ghosts. Most people pass through here as ghosts, like
yes,
they go unnoticed, like leaf in the wind. Most
yes.
people, it's tragic. It's very, very tragic. It's a mental genocide. That's why I say all the time.
Yes, because the high spiritual entity for I is Aman Ra Pata.
Yeah.
Yes. And people don't really understand even the meaning of Aman Ra Pata. You know? I am the light. I am the earth. I am the breath of life. Is I am that I am within I am.
And I can see that in you because I see it in myself. So it's not hard for me to see it within yourself, to see it within another, if you see it within yourself. Like there's no big deal talking about light and love and compassion and stuff because that's what I want to become. That's what I'm looking forward to become, that being of light, of compassion, but it takes time. It takes work. Your timing is not necessarily nature's timing or the divine timing for you to there's going to be that moment of clarity in your life, which is a very, very important to have. When suddenly everything becomes clear and you know what you have to do, you know that who you are, that we should all have that moment of clarity because clarity is power, right?
Yes. And I put all these iceps together within my music.
Yeah.
If people listen to the message, they will understand what I am saying. Because the message is not Midas' message. It's the power of the word.
Yeah.
And the word is true. Because I'm not creating any special entity to manipulate anyone. Whosoever listen will listen to the words within the message of my music, and is a universal message. It's love, it's unity, it's respect, it's accepting, it's caring for each other and working together. Because as I said before, it is up to us how we want to make it to be, because we have to rebuild the brotherhood of man.
Before Nan sent me your music and contacted me and said, "Hey, you should have Ras," because I seen your name at a few places, but there's lots of content out there. There's lots of music out there, especially when you talk about reggae music. And in these days, it's so easy to produce content, to put content on the internet, and there's so much on Spotify. Like you can go unnoticed in the stream of music, and they're so huge. So sometimes it's good that people come to you and with connection and referral and stuff, and also a contribution together, that we get to know each other. And Nan sent me your stuff and she said that you should have Ras Midas. And then I started to listen to your songs and your music, and I was like blown away completely. How have I missed that? It's so the sound is so roots, first of all, and you have the like I say, you have a band. You don't rehearse and play with a DJ behind. You have a band and you can feel the vibe. And Ras Midas is really something that I recommend and I will promote always on my shows on the radio or on YouTube, or I talk always in good about you because the message is pure and clean. And again, it's not so much about you, about the man. It's the message has to, like, it's not about the speaker. The speaker is very relevant. It's the message, is the word has to become out, the truth has to surface, and we have to move out of this dark age. I think that's very much, yeah, what's happening.
Yes, yes, that's how it really goes, because when politicians and religious leaders fail mankind, the cosmic power of sound and music will reveal to I and I the true love and the true light. Because Ras Midas is like a tree that is in the forest. And all these years I'm in the forest of life. But now this tree is springing up that people can see the music. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the message and the music. Because the message and the music is not my own. It's coming from a spiritual entity, from the creator of cosmic energy of music. This is not my own. I'm not owning these things. It's the power of the word. So now is the time for people of the world to listen to what I have to say. And I am not forcing anyone to listen to what I have to say. He that have ears, or she that have ears, let them hear. And when they hear, they can make their own decision what this message is all about. Because I'm not recommending myself. I have nothing to prove to no one. I am just a carrier of the word, a carrier of the music.
That's it. In this world, you cannot go out and expect to please everyone and to everyone to like you, and especially with the state of mind that we have. So you're not coming here to please me. You're on a divine mission, just like me. I don't expect to please you or to please anyone else here on the internet, or to be accepted by the world. Like I have accepted myself. That's enough for me. I'm coming out now. That's what we all got to do. Accept ourselves for who we are and come out and rise and shine. That's my message always. And enough the shrinking. We have shrank enough.
Yes,
That's it.
that is the greatest thing. I'm not here to save no one. People have to save themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what the word is all. The word is there. So you have to listen to the music and listen to the word. That's what reggae music is all about. It's a telecommunication book right now around the world on the internet, so that people have a chance to listen to the words and listen to the lyrics and the music, and to know that this music is a divine music, is a music that is trying to unify or to educate brothers and sisters around the world who is seeking change. Because this music is for people who really are seeking change. We need a new dispensation. We need a new environment. We have to create this new environment. This thing might not fulfill in my lifetime. I might not fulfill in the next 1,000 years. But I guarantee mankind that this fulfillment of lyrics and message will manifest itself into works in due season, and no one can resist it and no one can stop it, because it is the power of the creator.
Yeah, and it's an action. We live in an era where the divine get manifested through our thoughts. It's a world of thoughts, like I was telling you on private before. We live in a world of thoughts, so it's important to start thinking for ourselves too. We don't think too much for ourselves in this world, and once you start thinking and really contributing and doing something for the benefit of us all, it's just gonna save your soul. It's gonna save your soul. Like, what's the goal of being here? I think that the goal of being here on earth is to create that living soul, that when you finish your experience, that there's a legacy behind, like what you have created, a huge legacy of love. it will live forever. You know that you're living, your soul will live forever. You will live forever, Ras Midas, on earth because of what you have done. So you don't have to worry about death and stuff. I'm sure you don't worry about that because you will live forever. That's probably the real sense of eternal life that you can have. It's not into a church or a preacher or telling you that to go to heaven for eternal life. It's to create that living soul here on earth. What do you think about that?
I am not going to heaven, and I am not going to hell, because I have confidence in myself to make it my own way. Yes, my own way. And the beauty of creation is when you can transform yourself into the being that you're supposed to be. Because as I said before, we are the garden. And within this garden is the tree of good, otherwise known as the tree of positivity, and there's the tree of negativity. It is time for us to let the tree of positivity overcome the tree of negativity so that we can clean up our garden, because mankind is the garden. And when I'm speaking about mankind, I'm speaking about male and female. So when I speak about man, it means male and female. So I am not getting to dominating things here. But in the meantime, I'm asking you, please, if you could play the song. Nancy select the song and she is asking you to play this song.
Which
My
one?
Own Way.
Yeah, I had it written. I had 4 or 5 written here. Hold on.
Yes, none request this song, My Own Way.
But you have such a extensive list of songs that I love. I can't get enough. First of all, you have lots of albums. Some are on Spotify. I found 4 on Spotify. But if you go somewhere else, like on CD Baby and all this, you can find them all. And in the description of the video here, I left something for people also to find where to look for your music. But it's the greatness is just astonishing.
As I said, I'm just like a tree that was in the forest growing up. Now that the tree is coming out into the sunlight, everyone can really see the tree.
Exact. Just give me a second. I have to plug the thing. Give me a second.
Yes.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Okay, give me a second because the whole thing shut down. The battery from my unit shut down, so I had to restart it and plug it. So it's gonna start soon. I'll play it. But
yes.
No, the greatness is just there in every album. I don't think there's not a song that I skip. Like when I listen to albums, sometimes I skip song because either the beat gets annoying or the music today gets very electronic and it's annoying sometimes because people just make noise. I find it's just noise sometimes, the music. It's very noisy and narcissistic. Well, and we have picked up that noisy vibe and stuff. I'm sure you can relate to that.
Because they are entertainers. They are just they are just entertaining people. You know, I used to learn when I was small, and
I'm here. I'm listening to you.
It is my blessed grandmother that really told me these things. She told me that empty zinc pan make the most noise.
Yeah.
So nowadays is a lot of noise because the music that they are doing now is empty. And I, as an artist, I am not criticizing. I'm just speaking the fact, because we need living human being to get into the studio
Exact.
to work with the artists. We need intelligent producers to produce the kind of music with the message in it, so that we can hear the positive roots rock reggae once more.
Yeah,
it's
because
44, it's 44 years. I mean, doing my music. 44 years. Some people is the first time they might be hearing me, but I was there. As I repeat myself again, I was there in the forest. There's a lot of trees that grow and pass me, and some of them has died and gone. But Midas is this little sprout that is sprouting up right now with my message to the world that roots rock reggae music is still alive.
oh yeah.
And if they listen to the message within my music, I don't own anything. The message is for you, people. The message is for the people. So I am sharing this message with you all. This song that is going to come,
Yeah.
it might offend people that don't understand what I am saying.
But the truth is always, it's like someone that comes and shake you about reality. It's like someone waking you up from a dream or a nightmare, like waking you up suddenly. It's like you suddenly, what the heck, why are you waking me up? It's like the same thing. So at first, it depends of your layers of ego. If your ego is very, very thick and you think you know so much, and like you might not even get it. But if your ego is very thin and your layers of ego are very thin, and you can get to your truth easily and make sense of stuff, it's gonna click like this. The moment of clarity will come fast, like I say. So we're gonna listen to My Own Way, Ras Midas.
Yes, and it's selected by requested by a man from Entertainment Works.
What up?
I don't wanna be in heaven. I don't wanna be in there. I just want to stay right here and live my life well. I don't wanna be in heaven. I don't wanna be in there. I just want to stay right here and live my life well. I don't need a God to take my troubles to. I don't need a leader to tell I what to do. I don't need a hero to make my day. I have confidence in myself to make it my own way. I have confidence in myself to make it my own way. I don't wanna be in heaven. I don't wanna be in there. I just want to stay right here and live my life well. I don't wanna be in heaven. I don't wanna be in there. I just want to stay right here and live my life well. Wake up in the morning, smiling to be free, singing with the birds and having fun with the bees. They don't waste their time searching for a reason. They just live their lives with the changes of the season. They just live their lives with the changes of the season. I don't wanna be in heaven. I don't wanna be in there. I just want to stay right here and live my life well. I don't wanna be in heaven. I don't wanna be in there. I just want to stay right here and live my life well. don't need a leader to tell I what to do. I don't need a hero to make my day. I have confidence in myself to make it my own way. I have confidence in myself to make it my own way. I have confidence in myself to make it my own way. I don't wanna be in heaven. I don't wanna be in hell. I just want to stay right here on earth and live my life well. I don't wanna be in heaven. I don't wanna be in hell. I just want to stay right here on earth and live my life well.
Wow, massive. Massive stuff. Hold on, I'll just stop it. Okay. I'm back. We're back. Hold on. Yeah, make it my own way. For sure, we must find our way in this world. And again, my way. I mean, the foundation is not different from one another, but finding our way, it's to go, I always say, don't go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail, you know?
Yes, because what people must realize is that the God that people is seeking outside of themselves is within themselves.
Yeah.
And the leader that people become dependent on outside themselves is within yourself, is within your consciousness. Heaven is a state of mind. Hell is a state of mind. And it is also within yourself. So you don't have to want to go there because it is in you. If you want to make yourself a hell, it's up to you. And if you want to make yourself to be heaven, then it's up to you. So you don't have to go into the illusion out of yourself. That's what the song really means. You know, I wake up in the morning smiling to be free, singing with the birds and having fun with the bee. They are living their lives, they don't ask the reason. They just live to the changes of the season.
On the sacred mission.
Yes, and we are not doing that. You know, mankind want to live in their own illusion, and sometimes they get animals and want to train the animal to live in their own illusion too. So I am saying you don't need to leave yourself, because plenty Christians might hear this song and believe it's offensive. It's because they do not understand what I am saying. I am saying that everything that you're searching for outside yourself is within you. The heaven is within you. You have to manifest it within you and execute it within your liberty, within your works. Hell is not anywhere in outer space. It's within you. If you use the hell and use the heaven, you live to what you want to choose. That's why I'm saying to you, we are the garden. We have the tree of life within us and the tree of death or whatsoever it may be. I don't think about death. I don't know what is death. Death is a word of fear. I am a reproduction of myself. I recreate myself. I am from here from the beginning of time. Come through many ways, many different ways. I cannot tell you
that's why I say always, you're not different from the original man.
No. I am the original man.
That's it.
I am the original man. I come in different time and different places, wherever I may be in this creation. So when people talking about death and all those things, and you know, they have a next word to tell people. It's a religious word telling you that you are a sinner.
Yeah.
I don't need no one to come and tell me that I born in sin and shape in iniquity and all these kind of these are nonsense.
Yeah. And definitions.
Yes, I call it religious bigotry.
Yeah.
Sorry, because people have to come and tell me that I am a sinner. What a sinner about what? You know? I am who I am.
And I think that's what we have to express who we are. Just come out with, like I say always, it's either you need a rebirth, you need a real birth in this world. Like we're born dead with life. Like
Yes.
it's like you're born dead with life. You have to activate your conscience also and all this. Like it's like we're babies but grown up. What I was explaining you the other day, it's like that's why we have a world of toys. And when we start growing up, we have bigger toys and boats and four-wheelers and all kinds of toys that we need to be entertained, to have to be distracted with, because we can't really sense reality once you have all kinds of distraction around you. And that's, by design also. And we do the propaganda and we do the reinforcement of that stuff because most people show it to their children too, the fantasy.
Yes, well.
Without knowing.
Well, we are the teachers of our children.
That's it.
And if we create an environment where you can have positive children with positive teachers, so that children will grow up and mature in a positive way, sorry, to become positive male and female.
Shouldn't we say IHers? IHers instead of teachers? Like your thing you say, IHers?
Well,
I like that that thing, taking out the T in many words makes more sense.
That is true.
I don't know if that's the reflection I'm having.
We are advancing, but there's other people out there listening, and we have to consider about the words that they use to.
Yeah, so that's it. It's balance, and it's very important once you. That's
yes,
it.
Yes, yes. Because
in between me and you, we're gonna say it, reason with it, and everything. But I think it's important also to keep balance once you, like, you don't want to be too far on the side of the truth and on the lies and deception. You find balance into this, because if not, you'll create division and you won't be able to connect with people, reach their heart and stuff. And so, yeah, for sure.
Well, everything happened for a wise purpose.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it is written to let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works. If you don't have no light to shine, no one is going to see your works. It is a let your light shine before men, that they see your good works. Word without works is being imagination. So the only way your light can shine is when your words manifest into works. And we need to come to that high concept. We need to come to that understanding. We need to come to that overstanding, and we need to come to that understanding.
That's it. Because also imagination, if we talk about imagination, is having an image, and what's an image? It's not it's not like if you talk about images, it's always a representation. So if to bring the life, not to only imagine it, but who said that? Someone said that, I think it's one of their occultists, clown, Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge, but I don't think it's that. I don't agree with that, because imagination is only going to bring you image of what you want to be, but you have to put it into action. So it's right here, right now. You don't have to imagine, you just got to do it. Like you don't have to prepare to live, you live.
Yes.
But we seem to be preparing to live or to have a, like, it's right there, right now. If I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? Like,
Well, well, some people is preparing to live, some preparing to die. You know?
that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. And what they have done, they care about the people them that die already more than the person or people them that are living right now. Because if you check a tree, in the spring that tree spring up, in the summer it reach a stage where it produce fruit,
Yeah.
and in the winter or fall it drop off the leaves and it start all over again with the leaves, because the said leaves cannot stay there to sustain energy to support the tree, because the tree, the leaves on the tree is what taking the energy from the sun to feed the tree in certain aspect, because the tree gets feeding two way from the earth and the roots and from the trees and from the leaves, sorry. So mankind is like that. Mankind is live within 4 seasons.
Yeah, yeah,
When
yeah.
you're a baby, you're born in your springtime and you're mature in your summertime, and in your fall time you shed off that flesh and get ready for springtime again, renewing yourself. That's why you reproduce yourself, because every production of yourself is a springtime of yourself.
Yeah.
This is reality of ourselves.
And the trees during the winter, they do a lot of internal work also. The trees during the winter go internal, like most of us. Me during the winter, I go more internal. I read more, I reason more. During the summer, I'm outside making videos. Like, I like to make them just to reason and stuff. And I go out more, a lot more in nature in the summer. You know, I'm a lot more vibrant in the summer, more hot. I'm more hot in the summer than the winter, and that's it. So we're the same as nature. Like, you can, yeah, that's it.
Yes. So within the frame of reggae music, I am not saying that it's only reggae music alone that have a message. Every music have message to suit its culture and the environment where people from. Reggae music is a type of music that can relate to all people around the earth or the environment that we are living in. I say the world, because the world is the environment of mankind. And reggae music is teaching people to forgive the past, because most of mankind is hanging up with the past. What happened already happened. I and I cannot turn back the hands of time, because it happened already. If the bridge break down already. We have to build a new bridge.
Exactly.
We cannot stand here crying tears over the bridge that is rotten and break down. It's break down already. We have to make a new plan how to build a new bridge, a better bridge that won't be broken down.
And I think a way to get there is to keep speaking and encouraging each and every one of us to create that personal revolution within ourselves, which is needed.
And before us, there's thousands of people that was speaking this one love revolution.
Oh yeah, the stuff we talk about. Come on, we're not the first one.
No, but
There's
the
all.
word,
Yeah, go ahead.
but the word of truth and rights and justice have to continually put out there to people to let them hear it, because they're not going to hear it one time. Because when you're in the systematic swamp, you're not hearing it. because you're in the swamp.
Exactly.
But when you struggle out of that swamp, and you can watch, as Peter Todd say, singing a song, say, when you can wash yourself off and clean yourself up and start all over again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Pick
know?
myself up.
Yes, you're going to pick yourself up and wash yourself off and start all over again. We all have to start all over again.
And
You
I think
know?
that that start can happen each and every day to start all over. Like each and every day is a chance, a new beginning, you know, where your mind is fresh. So it's a new time. It's a, you know, we should all live much more in the present than in the past, like you said, in the future. It's happening here and now, not the like the only thing we can sense is the present moment anyway.
Sorry, yes?
Like, but even that it goes fast because you're always in motion. Like, okay, it's not still. You know that the sun always moves. The sun is not still. The sun moves on a perpetual path, on the same path for the last I don't know how many years the Earth existed, but uh, you know the sun is, like I say, the sun shows up each and every day to shine and follow his path. So that's what we must do each and every day too.
What I do, I give thanks for the sun. Because the sun is part of I, and I am part of the sun.
Yeah.
I never waste time thinking how whole the earth is or how whole creation is. Or who was the first or who was the last. I don't have no time to think about these things.
That's it.
Because these things are irrelevant to the reality of what it is. We just have to learn to know the fact and to learn the truth and to communicate and to get a better understanding of each other and find a way how we can make it work. How we can make it work. It is up to us to make it work. There's no special savior is going to come down from outer space or under the earth or out of the ocean, telling one side of people them that they are a sheep, or the next one is side of goat and all these things. It is up to us.
Yeah.
It is up to us. And we have to find a way to bridge the gap. We have to find a way how to reach out to each other one more time. We are reaching out for love.
And I think this is happening now on an accelerated pace because of the internet. Also, this is a real miracle for me, the internet. If you ask me, okay, we're doing evil stuff with it, but it's just because the state of mind. But it's a real miracle. We can wake up the whole world like that with internet. If people want to wake up also and activate their conscience, there's so much information out there, so much people coming out and speaking out about reality and stuff. And like reality is what it is. I'm not telling you, giving you a definition of reality. I'm telling you it's what it is. Open your eyes and look, use your senses. You have senses for something. You have eyes, ears. You can touch, smell. Anything that you cannot touch, smell, hear, taste, feel, see is nonsense. So why are we accepting nonsense constantly? You know, we have to stop accepting the nonsense and stop defaulting to the default state, you know, and start maybe building the dream of life, which is what is intended here. It's like the creator, like you said, blow in a big bubble or something, his dream. This wasn't intended for us to suffer. It's up to us to make it what it's intended for. Like, it's good to have an intent, but if we have no discipline, we go nowhere. Discipline and intent, it's like nitro and glycerin. Harmless by themselves, but mix them together, it's explosive. That's where we got to get to that explosive state. Got to have the discipline and the intent.
Well, people have to learn the reality that we are living in the creator.
Exactly.
The creator is the universe and all they that dwell therein. The creator, I'm repeating this again. The creator is the universe and all they that dwell therein. whether it's the tree or the ocean or the animals or the vegetation or mankind or animal, we are living in the creator. We are part of the creator and the creator is part of us.
We're part of the dream. We're part of the dream of life. Look at me. I'm not connected in the wall like I'm just a human body. It's such a miracle. But we're trashing it with stuff all the time. We're so unconscious that we're trashing the temple. But let me tell you something. There's treasure in that trash. There's always treasure in every trash. And if we dig, we will find our treasure, right?
You know why we are trashing ourselves?
Tell me.
Because within ourselves, we are eating from the fruit of good and evil. We are not eating from the fruit of the positive tree within us. Yeah. If we pay attention to the tree of good within us, then we can overcome all our problems. Because we're not paying attention to the thing that's important to us. That's why reggae music, which is the roots music, the truth music. Sometimes the artist might not live in the truth or live in the life. But don't pay attention to that, my brothers and sisters. Listen to the message, listen to the words. Because all of us have fault. All of us have problems. Some are evolving from our problems, while some is diving more in the problem. But everyone must take the responsibility to clean up ourselves and to clean up our order of who we are, so we can make it a new day within our life, or a new day within the creativity of ourselves. Because I said, it is up to us to make that change. It is up to us to make that differences. There's no special one is going to come and do it for us. We have to do it. And we have to do it by building that bridge, that new bridge.
And the good thing about it is you become very inspired. And when you're inspired, you don't feel tired. So, you can go on and on and on and on until you have no more breath going through your nostril, which is what you intend to do. This is not a journey of a certain number of years. It's a journey of a lifetime. It's big. So, you don't feel tired, I'm sure.
No, there's no number to it. There's no limitation.
Yeah.
All of us have to put our shoulder to the wheel before the wheel can turn.
Very important. What's coming for Ras Midas soon? Any album? What's going on right now? Like the rehearsal you're having with the band. Are you again with that same band we see on the screen?
No. When I'm touring, in Europe, this is the band that I work with, and we work nice together. They are wonderful people. They respect the music and they want to know more about the music, because they feel or know that they are part of the music. You see, the beauty with reggae music is not the color of your skin. Is who you are. Because there's no complicity in reggae music. You have to deal with no complexion. Whether you come from Asia, you come from Europe, or you come from Africa, you can be part of the One Love Revolution, because reggae music is part of the One Love Revolution. And right now, at this moment, people are more interested in the music that I recorded from 1974 and in the 80s and in the 90s, because right now in the world, people is going forward to the roots.
Yeah.
And thousands of people is now discovering my music. They just see the tree in the forest.
Yeah, yeah, I seen it. I seen it very clear. I seen your tree very, very clear, very standing tall. I see it standing tall and proud, and you know that's what we need to be. Also, proud of what we do and what we are. If not, we cannot go forward. You stay on pause. No, no, I see a standing tree for sure. Very tall, very proud, very. And again, it's not false pride. It's proud and you know, if you, like I say, if you don't take pride in what you do, who's going to take pride? And like, you have to be your number one fan, your number one encourager, your number, you know, it's good to, because in a lifetime, what I have done is encourage everybody else but myself. Once I started to encourage myself to rise and to shine more, it just started to happen. It's just sometimes we don't encourage ourselves enough, I find, and we drown in negativity and think we're not enough and we don't have what it takes. Or, but we have everything. We can figure things out. I figured this thing out by doing it, by doing interview after interview after interviews, and even today, I still not mastering it, but that's the last step that I put in the title is mastering our world. I'm at that point where now I'm starting to not feel like I master it, but I'm going towards a personal mastery. And that's very important for me because that will realign me probably with the divine love, with all the good stuff in this world, would make me connect with great people like you. This is all divine connection here. Yes, Nan is behind it, but we vibe together, and that we felt it from the first day we were introduced to each other. So it's when the vibe is there, we can do miracle here. Imagine when the vibe is here. Look, we've been talking for the last 2 hours. They never really. I met you maybe in somewhere, maybe, but I think it's just we were meant to get together for sure. Nothing happens for nothing, and I was meant to get to you either by someone or by circumstances, but often it's one or the other. So, but I give thanks for it. It was a great opportunity. But before I let you go, because it's been 2 hours, I said to you we were gonna do an hour, but it was so good that I couldn't stop. But now I'm going live on Byte Radio after, so I have to get ready for that. But I want you to tell me that's it, what's coming, any shows coming, anything planned in the next for the summer, like are you leaving for Europe with Nan soon to go tour there or something?
No, what I'm working on now is new material.
Okay.
To get ready to make a new album, but as I said, but at the same time, I cannot tell you when those music will release because, as I said, it's thousands of people around the world is now discovering my music, and when they hear it, they are surprised. Yes,
Yeah.
But before I go, to all the listeners, people can get my music on CD Baby, Amazon, and our leading internet stores. Yes, and our leading internet stores. I want to say hello and big up to Bod and Vista from UK Byte Radio Station for their wonderful support towards my music and to yourself also. It is very nice to be here. And if people want to get in touch with me, they can contact Nan of Entertainment Works.
Yeah,
yes.
Through your website, I think also we can have all the contact and the links to Nan, but she's very, very very easy to connect with. She's like, she answers you like that. She's very professional and very, she knows what she's doing. She's been doing that for a long time. So I knew I was dealing with someone that had experience. And when she recommended me the Byte Radio, she seen something, you know, it's always like that. People see something in you that you don't see in yourself so much. Like I didn't see me coming DJ on the radio, but when she came to me, she said, "Hey, they're looking for DJ. You would be good there. I see you." And that's you. That's her. And we see her. You see? At the same time we talk about her, we see her on the screen. So no, she's a wonderful person. And I invite anyone that wants to receive either Ras Midas on interview or concerts or events or speaking events. I think also you do. you speak around and all this. So on the concept of Rastafari, I think I heard that. So no, she's very accessible. That's what I meant. She's very accessible and easy to connect with. So you can find her on Facebook also, Nan Lewis, if you want to go directly to her. Me, that's what I do. That's how we communicate, through Facebook. But there's other ways you can get to her also, through email and all that. But je lui lève mon chapeau. I lift my hat to her. Je sais pas si on dit ça en anglais. I don't know if it's an expression in English. But she's wonderful, and she has a very, very great vibe. A great vibe. You just can feel it when you talk to her, and when you... No, big up, large up, Nan, and large up the whole family at Byte Radio, like you said, Bud, Vixta.
Yes.
All the DJs, and for sure we're going to support Ras
all the
Midas
DJs
music.
around the world, Bud and Vista, and all the wonderful DJs around the world. And I want to say to listeners, people can contact me at rasmidas.com.
Yeah. And it takes, it takes great reggae singers or vocalists, great reggae vocalists to make music, but it also takes DJs to play it. It takes radio station. So there's all kinds of people, doing their thing, putting the shoulder to the wheel. And that's what I told Bud at Byte Radio. I said, I find that wonderful what you do. He doesn't do that to have a paycheck. He does that by love, for the love of the music. And most people that come out and do stuff, it's by love. It's just because it's a passion. It's the love of the music. And me, that's why I do it, because I do this to help others, but also because I love music and I care. And I think it's like a way for me to show love. That's the way I think it should be. And I'm being the change that I want to see in the world. I'm fed up to see nonsense and illusion, and live in an illusion, and live the lie and all this. So at one point I said, I have enough. I have to come out. I have to come out. So I started to connect with the world, and I met today Ras Midas, and I'm very, very pleased to have you here on the TRU-MON show. And everybody in the chat also, big up Leslie, Marilyn, Chris, I think I see, Chris, yeah, that's it, Chris from the Bud is there in the chat. I just seen, I didn't know who that was, but that was Bud. Okay, so that's great. Bud is there listening to us, so watching us also. So that's it. I'll be on Byte Radio after for everyone here on the TRU-MON show.
Join me in the One Love Revolution. Join us in the One Love Revolution.
That's it. We keep promoting love. That's what we do. We promote love. Even on Byte Radio, we promote love with Bud. And that's it. We're just about love. We want to erase the hate. So we're just promoting love and good vibes. And that's it. And Ras Midas will always be part of the selections that we have for sure, because you have a lot of songs also. So I can be on the radio every day and not play the same song. So it's a real honor for me to have had that chance to have you. Thank you very much, and thank you everyone. And like I say always, live your dreams, live your big story, go bigger or go home. Simple.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. One love.
Thank you very much, everyone.
It's the One Love Revolution.
Yeah, we are officially tubing out.
Give thanks.
Give thanks.